Welcome race fans here to the Kentucky Speedway for race number 18 of the 2016 NASCAR Spring Up Series season as we are live here from the Kentucky Speedway for race number 18, a 27 lap race, the Quaker State 400. I'm Rick Burton here in the broadcast booth here to give you a full coverage of today's race, and we have the number 4 of Kevin Harvick on pole for the first time in 2016. On the outside lane, on row 1, the 42 of Kyle Larson, who won last night's Xfinity race. On row 2, you have a two-time winner here, Brad Keselowski, alongside your Talladega winner, Austin Dillon. On row 3, Kyle Busch, who won this race 1 year ago, alongside the 24 Chase Elliott, and Jimmy Johnson, Martin Truex, Denny Hamlin, and Carl Edwards, top 10 on the grid. We have 43 cars entered. We had 45 on the entry list. Reed Sorensen and Joey Gase did not qualify. At the top of your screen, your starting grid will be rolling across your screen. And coming into this race, we have Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, Kevin Harvick, all tied with a points lead. But you know what's really big about that is prior to this weekend, NASCAR announced that a big change to the format. It was announced that the points leader after the final regular race of the year, right before the chase, that driver in all three series will get an automatic pass through round 1. Meaning that they are guaranteed a spot in round 2 of the chase, which is big. And that's a big thing that you can have. Just going into round 1, just have a good fun round number 1, but then round 2, that's when it will get tough. That's what these guys are all trying to get right now. Harvick, Logano, and Hamlin all tied with a points lead. That's all of the pre-race news. Let's sit down track salad with the command to fire up the engines here at Kentucky.
Drivers, start your engines.
And now the pace car will lead the field on to the track so they can complete their pace lap. And before we go green, let's get a few spotlights on a few of our drivers in the field. Beginning with the driver of the number 21, being driven by a different driver this weekend. That's Darrell Wallace Jr. Darrell Wallace driving the number 21 tonight. He'll start back outside the top 25. He will start 33rd and the 21, making his second career start and his second of 2 starts he will make in 2016. Driving the number 30 today will be Team G's J.J. Yaley behind the wheel. A one-race deal with Yaley in the 30 car this weekend, and right now he got that car 41st on the grid. He got that car in the show, and they'll start 41st in the 30 car. And then let's ride with the number 47 of A.J. Allmendinger. Got that big win last week at Daytona. Allmendinger in the 47, now a 2-time NASCAR Spring Up Series winner, but now he wants to get a 3rd win here tonight at Kentucky. But then you got Kevin Harvick and Kyle Larson in the front row. Keselowski and Dillon on row 2. Busch and Elliott on row 3, coming down to the green flag. The fans are on their feet, and we are underway here at Kentucky. And Harvick and Larson side by side for the lead. They race down into turn number 1. A pretty good job there by the 2 of Keselowski, though. Now already on the inside lane for the lead. Here comes Keselowski on the inside, making their way out of turn number 2. Are we already on the yellow? Yes, we are. We're already wrecked. Back here, Casey Kane damaged, Brian Scott, Ryan Preece. As they're racing back to the yellow, Keselowski and Hamlin first and second to the line. As we are already under caution here on lap number 1 at Kentucky, involving Casey Kane, Brian Scott, Ryan Preece. A lot of the guys who were in the back. We have Alex Bowman damaged, A.J. Allmendinger, one of our spotlight drivers, won last week at Daytona. Brett Moffitt, Brian Scott, Allgaier, Casey Kane, and it appears the 38 of Landon Castle and Ryan Preece got the worst of it as they're coming down pit lane, and Preece and Castle have taken their cars behind the wall, along with the 26 of Dakota Armstrong. It appears the 22 of Joey Logano is going to be the cause of this big wreck here, and Logano, who's qualified all the way back in 30th place, is going to turn Casey Kane down into Brian Scott, who collects Allmendinger, and then Landon Castle, Alex Bowman, Armstrong, Ryan Preece, just nowhere to go. innocent bystanders by Logano, who was just too impatient really to get some laps on him. But Logano made a real aggressive move and just wrecked Keselowski in the tribal on lap number 1. Tough break for a lot of these guys who were outside the top 30, top 35 in owner points, like Landon Castle, like Moffitt, like Armstrong, who's just completely damaged on that 26. But that will end their day. And right now at the line, the 2 of Brad Keselowski will be a little when we go back green here from Kentucky. Back live here at Kentucky under our first yellow at Kentucky as a wreck with Logano and Keselowski in the tribal put us under yellow. And it was Logano's teammate Brad Keselowski who got the lead on the initial start, and he will be a little when we go back green here on lap number 6 of 27. We'll have 21 to go. Landon Castle, Dakota Armstrong, and Ryan Preece are all out of the race, leaving us with 40 cars on track, Keselowski being the last one on the lead lap. And coming out, turn number 4, Keselowski and Hamlin. Hamlin will try this again. Down to the green flag they come. Brad Keselowski, a 2-time Spring Cup winner here at Kentucky, brings us down to the green flag. But Denny Hamlin right there on the bumper, that number 2 auto traded forward, fusing down into turn number 1, and here comes Johnson on the inside lane trying to get second away from Denny Hamlin. Great restart with the 48 of Johnson as he's now going for the lead off turn number 2. And Bain nearly got turned, or who was that? Tony Stewart nearly got turned with the 6 of Trevor Bain, and he's going to get run into by Bain again down here in turn 3. David Reagan up the track, and that's Logano on the bottom of that number 22. And you see some damage on the right side of the 22, or on the left side of the 22 of Joey Logano. Right now he's up to 22nd, but we have more trouble. Junior around in the 88 car. And they're all going to pile in possibly, or do they save it? But maybe with the 78, Martin Truex Jr. completely damaged, and they're all just trying to wreck each other now. Tony Stewart's on the outside wall. And Menard, and there goes Smith, and McDowell gets clipped by the 78. They're on the yellow, but they're still reaching so aggressively to the yellow because they know how much these spots mean. And Tony Stewart damaged Martin Truex. A lot of front end damage on that number 78. And that was just a big mess there on this whole entire lap. All started with the number 88 of Dale Jr. getting turned, or somebody. It appears that 41 of Kurt Busch may turn Kenseth down into the 88. Yes, that's how Junior got clipped up the track into Kenseth, and then Truex will run into Junior right there, and then the 88 spins, but really he's not really a factor no more. But then the 78 is so slow. Paul Menard, Brian Vickers, Regan Smith all trying to get around that 78. Making contact. There goes Stewart around. Takes out Casey Mears. And McDowell just trying to get through. And he's going to get clipped by the 78 of Truex. And then Matty Benedetta makes more contact with Truex. Truex is like a pinball. That whole entire lap there. Down there in turn 3. But he gets going. But he may be done for the day. Yes, he is. Martin Truex will take his car behind the wall, and he will finish 40th today at Kentucky, 8 laps into the Quaker State 400. Back lap here at Kentucky. Before we go back green, as we are looking, it appears somebody, the 2 of Keselowski, does he have a problem? Kyle Larson. Brad Keselowski had an engine failure in last night's Xfinity race, and appears he may have the same issue tonight in the Cup race. Off pace, your 5th place runner, Brad Keselowski. And that will move Larson up to 5th, but the 2 car, who had an engine failure and finished 40th in last night's Xfinity race, has a problem again here tonight. As I was saying, though, next week in the NASCAR Spring Up Series and the NASCAR Xfinity Series will be live at New Hampshire next weekend, the Magic Mile. That'll be next weekend here on March 531. But big news, the 2, Brad Keselowski coming down pit lane with a pace car. Kyle Busch Jimmy Johnson, Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, and Kyle Larson, your top 5, followed by Stenhouse, Dillon, Elliott, Edwards, and Clint Bowyer. Your top 10 were back underway with 16 laps remaining. In second place battle, here comes that for Kevin Harvick on the inside of Johnson. And Harvick may get Busch down here in turn 1 or coming off turn number 2. Here comes Kevin Harvick on the inside lane. Now Hamlin on the inside of the 48 of Johnson, Austin Dillon, Carl Edwards, Clint Bowyer, McMurray on the inside of Chase Elliott. McMurray, one of those guys trying to make the chase on points. And you have Logano with damage on that 22, and he's now trying to get inside the top 10 in that 22 car. And Dillon may run up into Larson, Johnson up the track, and Harvick and Hamlin clears Kyle Busch. They're now first and second, and Dillon still 3 wide back here trying to get fourth away. Keselowski still on pit lane. He will go 1 lap down, this time by the leader, Kevin Harvick. And battle for lead again. Here comes the 2 Gibbs Toyotas, Hamlin and Busch on the inside of Kevin Harvick. Larson 4th, now Johnson 5th. Dillon, Elliott, McMurray, Logano, and Bowyer runs out the track right almost. And so does the 19 of Edwards. And here comes Kenseth on the inside lane. Followed by Stenhouse, Biffle, Kurt Busch, David Reagan, and Ryan Vickers. Eric Almirola, Paul Menard, Ryan Newman. And we have Regan Smith back here in 22nd. He has damage, but so much cars have damage. And the Keselowski back on track 2 laps down to race leader Denny Hamlin. But now Kyle Busch back on the inside lane, trying to get around that number 11. Should Hamlin or Johnson of the guys inside the top 5, should Hamlin or Johnson win tonight, they will automatically clinch a spot in the chase. You have 1 win, but a second win would guarantee you a spot in the chase right now. Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson, they're just looking for a win to get in the chase. Right now, Busch is on the chase grid on points. Larson is out. And now Johnson, 3 wide back here. He'll get around Kevin Harvick off turn number 4. So put the 18 of Kyle Busch back out in front, looking for win number 3 in the NASCAR Spring Up Series here at Kentucky. Let's go back through the pack back here. You know, talk about Keselowski blowing an engine. Darrell Wallace also blew an engine in last night's Xfinity race. I'd like to apologize. I did not mention that. I did not even know Wallace finished 39th until I stopped the recording on last night's Xfinity race. So I'd like to apologize for that, but oh well. Right now he's making his second career start for the Wood Brothers. His second and final start of the year for Darrell Wallace. And McMurray gets turned by David Reagan. Down on the inside wall goes Jamie McMurray, a driver trying to make the chase on point. This will be big for Jamie McMurray. A runner-up here a couple of years ago to Matt Kenseth. And McMurray damaged as we were under 10 laps remaining, and it appears he may have got turned by David Reagan. Kyle Busch, Hamlin, Johnson, Larson, and Kevin Harvick, your top 5. And that'll be your top 5 when we go back green. But damage for the 1 of Jamie McMurray. Big point implications for the number 1. Trying to make the chase on points should he not win a race. And he got dumped by somebody. Maybe David Reagan. No, it's going to be the 20 of Matt Kenseth. Kenseth turns McMurray and turns McMurray on the nose of David Reagan. The 55 made some slight contact, but some pretty good contact on the inside wall for Jamie McMurray, who's now 36 in the 1 car. We're not on the yellow. We are not on the yellow. I'd like to apologize. And Kyle Busch is going to get held up by Tony Stewart in the 14. We were still green, and they're now trying to get around the slower 14 of Tony Stewart. And Larson may be the big loser as he moves to the outside lane. Here comes Logano in the 22. Barely makes contact with the 14, and now they're going to put the 2-car Brad Keselowski 1 lap down. And Brad, it appears he is also off pace, so he may have a maybe down a cylinder in that number 2-car Brad Keselowski. And looks like he's gonna hold up his teammate Joey Logano. Down here in turn number 3. Logano pushing Keselowski, trying to get him out of the way. Here comes Elliott on the inside of Logano. And Logano's going to turn Keselowski down into Chase Elliott. And here comes Austin Dillon on the outside line. Logano very aggressive here today at Kentucky. Costa Rica with Casey Kane. And now hand the lead over to the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. Denny Hamlin and Kevin Harvick in top 3 now. And we're going to catch that 7 of Alex Bowman very quickly. And now Hamlin to the inside. Side by side again until they catch that 7 of Alex Bowman. Who does he hold up? Hamlin on the inside lane. He may have the advantage coming off the corner. And he does. Gets to the bottom of Alex Bowman and they'll clear him before they get down in the turn number 3. And the next car they would catch would be the 34 of Brett Moffitt, but he is too far away where we will not be having to worry about the 34. So now the top 3 trying to break away, but see the 18 of Kyle Busch starting to reel in the top 3 again. Then you have Kyle Larson 5th, Elliott Edwards, Dillon, Logano, and Ryan Blaney, your top 10. And it'll be coming down to 2 laps remaining. This is going to be a fun sprint to the finish between Hamlin, Johnson, and Harvick. Now Harvick trying to get some air on the nose to the inside of the 48. Can Denny Hamlin hang on? Can Johnson and Harvick get by? Can Kyle Busch catch up? 2 laps remaining at Kentucky. And the top 2 looking for a win that would put them in the chase. Here comes the 48 of Johnson to the inside of Denny Hamlin. Can Hamlin get a run off the corner? Can Harvick get by and get a run on the 48? And then the turn number 3, here comes Johnson. He clears the 11. Now here comes Kevin Harvick. Coming down, turn number 4. The white flag is in the air. 1 lap remaining at Kentucky for Jimmy Johnson. And they may catch that 34 right at the very last second. Johnson, Harvick, and Hamlin. Kyle Busch catching him, but does he have enough time? Down here in turn number 3. Can Harvick make one last move on the 48 of Johnson? He leaves the inside lane open, but I don't believe it'll be enough, and it'll be his first career win at Kentucky, his second win of the year. Jimmy Johnson wins at Kentucky. Grabs the win and holds off Kevin Harvick and Denny Hamlin in a great finish in the Quaker State 400. And Kyle Busch and Kyle Larson getting top 5 finishes. Carl Edwards, Joey Logano, Austin Dillon, Ryan Blaney, and appears Clint Boyer will be your top 10, followed by Stenhouse, Chase Elliott, Greg Biffle, Kenseth, and David Reagan, your top 15. A good day for a lot of guys like Stenhouse and Dillon, Larson, Elliott, Biffle. A lot of guys who really needs a good run. But Jimmy Johnson becomes the 5th driver to automatically clinch a spot into the 2016 playoffs, joining the Team Penske teammates of Logano and Keselowski, and the Stewart-Haas Racing teammates of Harvick and Kurt Busch. So Johnson, the first Hendrick car in the chase for sure. Casey Kane still has a win. Elliott and Junior still looking for their first win of the year. And next weekend we'll be heading to New Hampshire to see who can get the job done at the Magic Mile. On your screen, your results in your updated chase grid after today's Quaker State 400 that is on your screen right now. I'd like to thank you for watching today's broadcast of the Quaker State 400 at Kentucky. I'm Rick Burton in the broadcast booth, and we'll see you next weekend at New Hampshire for race number 19 of the 2016 NASCAR Spring Up Series. Goodbye, everyone.